Well, Mac, thank you for meeting me in Kyiv.
Hi, so thank you, Ben. So hi, as you know, I'm Joe McDonald, this is Big Mac's Battle Blog, and this is Ben.
Hello,
from
everyone.
Florida Man for Ukraine. And you may have seen Ben mentioned and featured on my channel a little bit. He is one of the volunteers who does a lot of work for Ukraine and doesn't get enough press. He made us a custom PKM mount a while ago because we were told we need to focus on shooting down Shaheeds, and we didn't have, it's real difficult to point a machine gun at the sky. And come on, one sock, getting shot.
We got one sock here.
Yeah, we got look, we got a dog. The algorithm likes animals, you know. But yeah, Ben. What the main thing Ben's blacksmith project does is make log staples for the army, and that the place has made what do you say, like $750,000 roughly?
Yeah, no. We made over 235,000 staples so far, and these aren't your small staples. These are giant staples made for rebar. Big 30 centimeters, I would say. So yes, I somehow found myself in a village, and there I worked with a man named Roman. I've done several interviews so far about what we do at the Forge, but primarily we make staples for the military. We get requests every day. We are always behind on requests, and we are always looking for more funding.
So yeah, this is the kind of thing that is glamorous, right? When you guys give money to me and I buy a bunch of thermal FPVs or a Baba Yaga, and you get to see the footage of us smashing the orcs, it's all very exciting. But staples, speaking for someone who A, has spent time in a trench, log staples stop that becoming a piece of ground that will just collapse into. And having the cover over the top with soil on top, speaking as someone who attacks trenches with people in them on a regular basis, it's a lot harder to kill the dudes inside if they have a nice thick roof, basically. And these staples are what keep Ukrainian soldiers alive and what turn a hole in the ground into something you can somewhat live in without dying of trench foot over the winter, and that won't collapse when a big bomb hits near it. And now we've taken the Kursk area, all this needs to be fortified and reinforced if we're going to hold it and it turns into the bargaining chip Ukraine needs. So work like this is more important than ever. 5 kilometers of rebar, which is what they make the staples out of, costs like $350 or something. It's nothing. It's less than one decent FPV. So Ben was telling me, they're going from a small blacksmithing workshop that's just been basically taking small donations, mostly that Ben's raised himself, some from Ukrainian civilians at the blacksmiths now, and turning that into staples and wood burners, and in my case a PKM mount for the military. Okay, now it costs a lot to fund the extra drones I need, but all Ben's org need, now they're becoming a real NGO, is like $1,000 or $2,000 a month, and that would help. We're talking 25% of the Ukrainian military's needs for log staples and wood burners for the winter time. You know, that would make such a difference to the military here. So please do share this video, put it on Reddit, put it on, what's the other one, X, Twitter now, and explain that this guy's been here. You came in 22 at the start, didn't you?
No, that's a whole other story I can get into later, but I arrived last year in my van, and about 3 months in I found the Forge, and that's been primarily my thing. I've been here for about a year, living in Ukraine. I don't go back and forth. I've only been abroad for about a month. That was just to go home for February because it's freaking cold. But yeah,
you've learned Ukrainian as well, haven't you? Unlike my dumbass, you know. So yeah, maybe for the Ukrainian audience and the Ukrainians abroad, you could explain quickly what you're doing, because I think it's nice.
Так, добре. Мене звуть Бен. Я з США. Зараз я живу в Вінниці. Я думаю, кого зробити речі для військових. Найважливіше ми робили скоб. Великий скоб, для що можна будувати тренчі, бункери. Тобто, якщо ви хочете, ми зараз можна зробити буржуйки. Зараз я знаю, багато людей хочуть буржуйки. І монопод стейшнері. Ми робили 2 стейшнері, один для Mac, I один два наша territorial defense. I don't know territorial defense in Ukrainian, but duck. I know a little more Ukrainian than Mac does.
No, I know how to swear fluently and forward, back, left, right. You know, that's about it for me.
That's the important stuff.
But I've been blown up more times than him, so I have an excuse. So yeah, basically that's what I wanted to have. But there are so many volunteers like Ben in Ukraine who they're not trying to be famous YouTubers in Kyiv who just get all their information from another channel called Reporting in Ukraine, which is where you should actually go for your what's happening in the war information. Ben's just been out here for like well over a year of his life, working hard in a tiny little blacksmith forge for no money, eating borscht 3 times a day, and
fucking sick of it.
Yeah. Because you know, basically just supporting the army with hard work. Like I've worked as a blacksmith in the past, knocking out 1,000 bits of rebar into staples a day is hard, monotonous, grueling work, just like digging the trenches. And these are the kind of guys who you should be supporting. There's no promotion, there's no like needing to turn up. They just make the staples and Nova poster them to the army unit that needs them, often paying for the post themselves. So a little tiny bit of support, like really, you know, $2,000 to me, it's 1/3 of a Mavic thermal. You know, it's 4 FPVs, maybe 6 if we get the small ones. It doesn't make that much difference. $2,000 a month to them makes a massive amount of difference to how Ukraine army can fortify and defend their positions properly. So please, like I said, share this around, let other people know, give generously, because these are the kind of volunteers that really make a difference. Just like the guys who are out fixing people's blown up houses for free in Kherson make a difference to Ukrainian civilians. You know, the guys who don't really do Instagram and social media. You know, Ben does have a YouTube channel, Florida Man for UA,
yeah,
right?
Florida Man for UA.
Which will be linked in the description. There are some interesting videos about the PKM mount they made for us on there, I believe.
Yep, I did a whole thing.
And yeah, that's available to other army units as well. I think
Please.
I think it costs like $150 to make for the whole thing.
It depends on where I get the metal and how much gets donated to me metal wise. But honestly, metal in Ukraine is dirt cheap.
Yeah.
It's so cheap here. And like I said, our hands are free. That's how we go, pretty much. Where it comes to staples and all that, we just have them pay for the gas and for the rebar. All the work we do, it's for free.
And if you've got a friend in a Ukrainian army unit
Please.
and they're looking for staples,
Please.
and that like Ben, you can contact Ben through there's the link to an email on the YouTube channel. You can contact him through that. They've got wood burners, they've got staples, and if you want PKM mounts for shooting down shaheeds, you know, or if you have a different kind of machine gun that you want a custom mount for, they achieved it for me with very little measurements and it works perfectly.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. Anyway, it's goodbye from me, Joe McDonald at Big Matt's Battle Blog. Goodbye from Ben.
Thank you guys.
At Florida.
Thank you, man. Florida Man for UA.
And yeah, and as always, to our Russian and Vatnik listeners, Idy Nahoy Zalupa.
Idy Nahoy.
All right.